that on? Yep.
Yep. Ready?
Yep.
Hey guys, today we are going to be talking to you about how your mind could be playing tricks on you and how you could become the trickster to guarantee the outcome that you want instead.
So have you ever had a scenario where you think something is going to be a certain way, but it actually turns out not to be? For example, you build something up so much that it turns out to be worse than the actual reality.
Yeah, come on guys, we know you have because you're human, we all have. But the question is why do you keep doing it? Even though we know that it can create some kind of anxiety within us, we know that it can set us up for failure, and we know that it can create an expectation which may actually not be true. Well, we're going to be doing something different and we're going to share that with you so that you know exactly how.
Exactly. And first, what I'm going to take you through is just kind of my personal experience of letting my mind run away with me and control what's, well, not control really. So, well, one of my examples is when I actually proposed to Charlotte. I spent months and months in my own head worrying about obviously the proposal, what she's going to say, what's going to happen, building up, thinking, oh my God, what if she says no? Because obviously then we still got to stay where we're going for the time. We'll drive back, it's going to be awkward. Will she say no? Will she say yes? It's just driving myself nuts and all this stress and anxiety I was putting on myself. And when it actually came to the nights, and I was like so nervous, it was the most nervous I've ever been in my whole life.
I couldn't tell.
I was like, yeah, I'm not going to say that word, but it was just absolutely crazy. And then when it was done, I was like, oh, okay. All those months of anxiety and stress, and for no reason at all. And like deep down, I know that she was going to say yes, but I was just letting my mind run away with me and kind of control the situation and the narrative when it's just making it such a bad picture in my head. And it turned out to be amazing.
There was another time as well, right, where you was at work and you would never take a holiday for like 6 years or something insane.
Yeah, pretty much. I was so in that thing. I had to control everything, whereas I would not go on holiday. I didn't go on holiday for the first 6 years of my career in corporate fitness because I was afraid that coming back I'd have so many emails and problems and issues and complaints to deal with. And the funny thing is, when I did actually eventually go away, even if it was like for a few days, I came back to all those problems and I'd stress myself out about it, thinking, okay, I'm not going to go on holiday again. And it would just drive me absolutely crazy, like ripping my hair out, just thinking, okay, I can't go on holiday anymore. I have to keep working every single day to make sure this stuff doesn't happen.
And that's tough because that kind of thinking is just so limiting, isn't it? If you think that that's going to be the case every time you come back, that it stops you from going on holiday in the first place, that's really like not a healthy place to be, is it? No. Let's be honest. But listen, the reason this is happening is because we're living in our memories, right? We're creating the same or even a worse case scenario based on past experiences. And then we have this negative bias happening inside of our mind. We don't even always know it's happening, but this is why your mind is playing tricks on you, because you've got this like automated process of going to our memories and then living them out in your mind and then provoking all of those feelings of anxiety or whatever feelings are showing up for you, which is really, really hard. So tell them how you got over it first.
Well, first of all, it took a few years to get to the point where I was just like, okay, I need a break. And I come to this kind of become a bit more aware of the things I was coming back to, and these so-called things important that I was stressing over about were not important at all. All these emails, all these issues, they did not need to be solved straight away. They did not need to be stressed about. They were not life and death. Okay, if it took 3 weeks after coming back to sort them out, nothing bad happened. Okay, and that's the thing, is all these things that were waiting for me, they just weren't important enough to stress about and have to get done literally on day one when I get back. So kind of when that realization came in where, okay, I'm going to have this stuff coming back to come back to. That's not going to change. It's been happening so much. The question is now is it's not life or death. So I can take my time in getting to it. I do not have to focus on it while I'm on holiday. I do not have to stress about it while I'm on holiday. I can actually enjoy, switch off and relax and come back to it and then just deal with things as and when I can.
So he changed the narrative of the story that he was telling himself, right? That's what I'm getting from what you said, is that you literally just reframed it in a way that actually, these things are important, but they're not that important that you need to stress about it. Therefore, you told yourself a different story. You played out a different scenario in your mind, which now wasn't worst case scenario. It was actually a better case scenario. Maybe not the best, but better case scenario, which is good. So you guys, that's one good example where you can become the trickster and actually take control and create the scenario that you want to experience instead.
Now, I know you're asking the question is, how do we change? How do we take control and create that scenario that we want? So we're going to go through this process and show you and explain to you how we're going to do this.
Yeah, guys, first things first is I want you to think of this like flight simulator. I think you've all heard of a flight simulator. When pilots are going to go obviously up into the aeroplane, they don't just jump straight into a plane. They go into like a practice space. What is it, like a big booth type thing? And they run the route that they need to be taking. What do they call it? The
flight path.
Flight path, there you go. So the pilots are practicing the flight path that they're going to experience, and they're going to run these scenarios through this simulator. Now, your mind has this function already inbuilt. That's the beauty of this human design that we have, is that we all have this simulator within our prefrontal cortex, within our mind, within our brain, where we can actually access this and do this practice form ourselves. You don't have to go to a big booth and run this simulation. You can do it by simply closing your eyes, or even like just thinking about it. So you can then start to run your own path of your own future, your own situation that you want to take control of, the scenario that you want to change. You can start to run that scenario, best case scenario, in your own mind and simulate the experience, so that by the time you step into that scenario, you're showing up in the way that you want to, and you're experiencing the scenario that you want to, instead of the old narrative and the old scenario that's probably worse for you.
Definitely. And when you're running that scenario, your second step is to visualize what you want to happen in that scenario. So you want to visualize exactly, detailed, picture it in your mind. What's going to happen? What are you going to see? What are you going to hear? What are you going to smell? What are you going to feel? What are you going to experience? So you're going to create this big detailed image. It's kind of like a movie in your head that is going to, it's pretty much like you're there. It's happened already. You've experienced it. You felt it, you've seen it, and it all turns out very well.
You're already so good at doing this, but for the negative scenario. So you're already doing this. This is why you're getting that emotional reaction within. So you're already capable of it, but now your job is to understand, okay, well, you're actually in control of it too, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Your mind, when you do this, you're installing a bit like predictive text, on your phone, when it guesses what you're going to say when you start typing the first couple of letters. That's what your mind is doing. You're installing a pattern so that it can predict the behavior that's going to come next. And when you do that through visualization, you're literally adding that blueprint. You're adding the pattern so that it will start to run it automatically.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And so once you're ready to kind of cement it in there and to make it a reality, is to literally repeat that vision, repeat that visualization at certain times of the day. And the best times of the day to do this, to really cement that, is that within that first hour before going to bed and within that first hour of waking up, because this is when your brain is most susceptible to suggestibility, to basically what's going on. So basically, the scenario you're running through, your brain just thinks it's real. It's creating it already. It's already processing that information and kind of going through it. So when you actually arrive at that event, guess what? Your body's on your mind and your body's on autopilot. Everything's happening as you've already envisioned and already visualized.
Definitely. Like John said, there is first thing in the morning and last thing at night is the best time. That golden hour, that 1 hour period before bed and when you wake up, your mind is like a sponge. Like, the marketers know this, advertisers know this. This is why they put more ads on at the times that people are more naturally going to be waking up and going to sleep, because they want you to cement these patterns into your mind so you go buy their stuff. So instead of switching onto that kind of thing, switch on to what you actually want instead, and start to own that time, own that space, and own that creation of what it is you want to experience. So as you start to run this best case scenario in your reality, you're going to be able to trick your mind in the build up of what you want instead of the other way around of what you don't want.
Nice. So Actually, when we kind of put this topic out, we had a question come back from someone who's obviously interested in what we're talking about, and hopefully through our answer we can help you kind of understand this a bit better. So the question is I am a student and I get really bad anxiety about my deadlines at uni. So my mind always makes things out worse than they are.
Yeah, so one point to make it, it's actually a question, it's more of a statement, like they just believe in this already, so they're already living in this reality, this simulator of their life, right? So the answer here is within the language. There's a narrative that is being created and a commentary which may not be true. So the key here is to understand that no, you're not always experiencing bad anxiety, right? You may have had that in the past and expected that of yourself around your deadlines, but that doesn't mean it is always true, and it doesn't mean that you have to show up that way. So use the tool that we just shared with you, the simulation and the visualization, so that you can start to create the best case scenario for yourself. And all that takes is a second of you just pulling back, zoom out of your current situation, take yourself off, take yourself into your bedroom, into your dorm room, wherever you are, take yourself away, zoom out, take a breath, and actually start to paint the picture of what you want to see instead. And I promise you, you'll start to create a new narrative, one that is actually going to serve you. But when you add all of the things that John mentioned around the senses, by incorporating how you feel, touch, see, smell, incorporate all of those things into this picture that you paint, and it will feel so real that you will be installing the pattern, so you can go away and you can start to experience that reality in your university with your deadlines, so that you can actually, show up and understand that your mind's just tricking you. So why don't you be the trickster instead, right?
Exactly, guys. So I really hope that answered that question for you and you found that very helpful. So just in case you missed it, this week we opened the doors for you to receive a gift from us, which includes videos every single week forevermore on either, all, or any of the areas that we love to talk about the most, which is mind, body, heart, and soul.
Yes, forevermore. No, we've been busy, huh? Guys, so if you want to jump in and get your hands on that gift, please send us a message to our email, to our inbox, whether that be on social media, email, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. Or pop it in the comments of wherever you're listening or seeing this. Or you can go to our website and enter your details. And these videos go way deeper into the topics that we've touched upon, on our daily posts that you see, and obviously on what we talk about here as well. They go much deeper and they give you practical steps in how you can really, tackle these things that you're experiencing in these areas.
Awesome. So that is it from us for today. We hope you enjoyed what we've been talking about and it's helped you immensely. And we look forward to seeing you again.
All right. Take care, guys. See you later.
Okay, before we shut it off, we cut it anyway. Should we do a quick summary? Because we didn't add a summary to this. Just of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start.
Okay.
Oh no, okay, just a summary.
Yeah, of these. Yeah, so like a quick 7-second summary.
7 seconds. What were that? 7 seconds.
Budget.
Okay.
Yeah, can we do it?
We kind of said that in the beginning, didn't we? I think so. Here. Yeah. All right. Yes. So in summary, and then the how. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what do you make? It's going to be more than 7 seconds.
No, if it's a quick summary, it's not. All right. Am I doing it? You doing it?
You do it. Okay.
Okay, guys. So in summary, we have already. Jack, I think it's obvious which bits to cut out if you're seeing this. Okay, so guys. So in summary, you don't have to allow your mind to play tricks on you. You can become the trickster and guarantee the outcomes that you want by using this internal simulator that you have in your mind to visualize what you want and install the patterns that you want to be playing out in your life instead.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Jack, you can tell us if that's too long or too short. All right.